G'day and welcome back to the channel. I'm in the edit studio at the moment. I just want to do a quick update on a story, and that was the one about the drone that got knocked down by some hikers with stones in one of our national parks. The news report that was complete and utter baloney, and I pulled it apart very in depth and just showed how piss poor our journalists are. Now, of course, I challenged the mainstream media, so YouTube demonetized the video. They have subsequently remonetized it. Goodness me, but as we know, a day later, why bother? Because all the views happen in the first day. And more important than demonetization, it's the fact that when you are demonetized, YouTube no longer promotes you to the general audience. Now, this was a video I wanted to get out there to the general public to show them just how bad the reporting quality is, how drone incidents are misrepresented in such a terrible way by an incompetent media. And YouTube demonetized the video, and therefore they didn't show it to anyone. And during the first 24 hours, that's generally when YouTube says, well, we're going to push this or we're not going to push it. So they demonetized it, so it didn't get shown to anyone. So it's got about 5,000, 6,000 views. It's probably not going to get much more because it's past its peak, and I'm not going to make any money out of it, probably 20 cents. But it just shows you YouTube is very, I don't know, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say they're just utterly incompetent. But I don't know that that is the case. I think there is actually there's a lot of intelligence goes on behind YouTube's strategies. If you do any search for any news, you'll always find the mainstream media outlets right at the top of the search results. The independents, the people who might be telling the actual facts, because we know the mainstream doesn't, they're always pushed right to the bottom of the search results. So there's a very cozy relationship between the mainstream news outlets and YouTube. And anyone that challenges the mainstream outlets, well, you're going to look after your friends, aren't you? If you're YouTube, you're going to look after your mates, and you're going to make sure that people who might have a really valid complaint about the mainstream media, well, we don't want too many people seeing that video, let's demonetize it, stick it to the bottom of the list, and then, okay, when it's obvious, you know, that we've got no justification for demonetizing, we'll remonetize it, but it's all too late by then, so nobody cares. Call me a cynic, but I call myself someone who's studied the ways of the world in great depth and reached an age where it all becomes apparent. Anyway, I want to get back to that story about the drone in the national park. Now, I pointed out in my video that throwing stones at drones is endangerment of an aircraft, and that is a breach of our Civil Aviation Act. So I have laid an official complaint with the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, the body that enforces or makes the rules and enforces them in New Zealand. They're the ones equivalent to the FAA, Transport Canada, CAA in Australia. They're the people who should be jumping on this, because a very clear breach of the Act has occurred. And thus, it's evidence. The media have reported it. There's no doubting the facts. It's in the media. They wouldn't lie. And DOC themselves issued a press release which says basically the same thing. In fact, it's amazing how the TV1 news report looks just like the DOC press release verbatim. So much for journalism. But anyway, so that's the situation. So I have said to CAA, this is a very clear breach of the Act. It is your responsibility to prosecute breaches of the Act. And I'm pretty sure that if I didn't say anything else, they'd come back and say, well, it was a minor thing. It was a drone crash in the park. Nobody cares. But let's not forget that New Zealand is in the middle of a terrible drought. We've had massive drought. There's been no rain for quite a long time. All our national parks are tinder dry. They're very dry. And the Tongariro National Park is particularly affected because it's a very high area and there's tussock and things. So it burns really easily. So here we have a drone knocked from the sky by some reckless hikers. It could have burst into flames and set fire to a huge tract of that national park. So the outcome of this incident could have been a whole lot worse than it was. Now, I'm not saying that the drone operator wasn't totally to blame for flying where they shouldn't have. I'm not trying to excuse the drone operator. But what I'm saying is two wrongs do not make a right. The fact that these people broke the law and endangered an aircraft and brought it out of the sky with stones means they should be held to account, because this is not the first time this has happened. There was another incident where someone was flying a drone to get some real estate pictures and a neighbour thought it was spying on them, so they shot it out of the sky with a shotgun. In that case, they weren't prosecuted under the Civil Aviation Act. They weren't. So this is the second occasion I know of where the public have broken the Act without any consequences, and there's been no action taken. So this sends a very bad message. It says, well, if it's a drone, you can knock it out of the sky. If it's annoying you, you can knock it out of the sky. Now, I'm sorry, but the laws of the land are here to protect us as much as restrict us. We have to fly under the regulations. Can't fly over 400 feet, can't fly within 4 kilometres of an airfield or a helipad. All these rules that we have to follow. So it is only reasonable that the rules which are there to protect us, such as you may not endanger an aircraft, should be used as much as the other ones. We have a right to protection from these rules. Now, if that was a helicopter and someone had thrown a rock at it and lodged in the tail rotor and it spun around and crashed in a burning heap, do you think that the CAA would not have prosecuted the offenders? Of course they would have. But this is a drone, and CAA are repeatedly telling us, this is an aircraft. You must be responsible. These are dangerous. These are aircrafts and you are pilots. So if you're going to take that line with us, CAA, you've got to step up to the plate and take action where action is required. So I filed an official complaint, an aviation-related concern with CAA, requesting that they take action in this case. And as I say, the thing is, if they do not take action, the message they're sending is, well, compliance with aviation rules and laws is optional. If you don't want to comply because it's inconvenient or something's annoying, yeah, it's all right. You just go ahead and break the law. We won't bother about it because, pesky drone, not good enough. What happens when somebody decides to shoot down a drone in a built-up area and it falls into a pram and hurts a child? The other thing is, this drone flying in the national park, how do the hikers know that the drone operator didn't have a permit? You can fly in a national park if you get a permit. Perhaps the drone operator, unbeknownst to them, had got a permit and was flying legally, in which case, why is DOC not strongly condemning the stone throwers? Because it means that DOC cannot give permits without explaining that, okay, we may have hikers throwing stones at it anyway. No, sorry. But I just wanted to give you that update because I'm not letting this rest. The rules are there to protect us as much as restrict us. We are being restricted every day. It's time we got some protection. If I'm out flying my drone on my model aircraft, I want to know that if someone decides they don't like it for whatever reason, and they shoot it down or throw a rock or walk over and jump on it, I've got the protection of the law behind me. If I don't, I see no reason why I should follow the law either. If it's optional, I'll opt out. Please, CAA, tell me, is it optional or is it not? Well, prove to me it's not optional by prosecuting those hikers. There you go. So just thought I'd keep you up to date. Now, there's another little bit on the end of this video. My daughter, the one with stage 4 cancer, she's not in a good way. She's gone back into hospital recently with an infection because chemo kills your immune system. Oh, it's a real nightmare. Anyway, she sent me a video that she made to thank all those people out there, and there are so many of them who generated so generously to the request to help her out financially. I was gobsmacked. I was totally blown away. Words cannot explain or cannot convey the level of gratitude that I and my daughter have to you. But she's made a video. Here it is. And in the meantime, thanks for watching. Comments to the comedy bit. Bye for now.
Hello to all you beautiful XJet fans out there. I just wanted to reach out to say a huge thank you. That I'm so grateful for everything that you have all done for me and my family. Has meant a lot, and it has meant that I can focus on trying to get better and getting through this battle that we currently are fighting. I just wanted to let you all know how appreciative I am for what you've done for me. It has meant a lot, right down to your amazing words and your beautiful prayers that you've sent my way has given me more strength to never give up and keep fighting. Thank you all so much.